What if the scariest monster is someone whom you love and trust? In this video we're not diving into a supernatural nightmare or a masked killer's rampage. But we're exploring a horror that is terrifying precisely because it is so mundane and so real. We're talking about Lewis Teague's 1983 adaptation of the Stephen King novel, Cujo. The film is a masterclass in building tension through domestic drama. It doesn't start with the horror, it starts with the slow, agonizing breakdown of two families in the small town of Castle Rock, Maine. First, we have the Trenton family, Vic, the advertising executive, Donna, the restless housewife, and their young son, Tad. Their seemingly perfect life is unraveling. Donna is having an affair, and Vic is on the verge of losing a major client. The tension in their marriage is a slow burn psychological horror that precedes the physical one. Then there are the Cambers, the isolated, working-class family who own the local auto repair shop. They also own the star of our film, Cujo, a massive, gentle Saint Bernard. The Camber family is also dysfunctional, with the abusive, alcoholic patriarch, Joe Camber, adding another layer of domestic misery to the backdrop. The horror begins with a simple, tragic accident. Cujo, chasing a rabbit in the fields near the Camber farm, sticks his head into a small cave and is bitten on the nose by a rabid bat. This single, tiny event is the spark that ignites the entire nightmare. The film meticulously tracks Cujo's slow, agonizing transformation. The once friendly dog becomes confused, aggressive, and terrifyingly ill. The horror is amplified by the fact that Cujo is not evil, he is a victim, his mind and body hijacked by a disease that turns him into a killing machine. King's genius lies in the way he uses coincidence to trap his characters. The moment the Trenton family is at its most vulnerable is the moment the external threat arrives. Vic leaves town on a business trip to try and save his career, leaving Donna and Tad alone. Before Donna arrives, Cujo has already claimed his first victims. The Camber family's troubles reach a violent peak when Joe Camber and his friend, Gary Purvis, are brutally murdered by the now rabid dog. The Camber farm, isolated and remote, becomes a silent, bloody tomb. Donna drives her unreliable Ford Pinto to the Camber farm for a simple carburetor repair. This is the moment the domestic drama collides with the animal horror. As soon as she pulls up, the car dies, and Cujo, now a monstrous, foam-covered beast, emerges from the shadows. The car, meant to be a vehicle of freedom, becomes a prison. Donna and Tad are trapped inside the small, metal box. The car's broken ignition and the intense summer heat become as much of a threat as the rabid dog outside. The film now settles into its terrifying, relentless second act, a siege. Cujo, driven by the madness of rabies, attacks the car repeatedly, smashing windows, tearing at the tires, and turning the small space into a claustrophobic hell. The psychological toll on young Tad, who is terrified of monsters, is immense. The horror shifts from the external threat of the dog to the internal threat of the environment. The sun beats down, the temperature inside the car soars, and the lack of water begins to take its toll, especially on the young boy. This is the film's most dramatic element, the slow, agonizing death by dehydration and heat stroke. Meanwhile, Vic Trenton returns to an empty house and a note from Donna's lover, confirming the affair. The police are called in to investigate the missing Camber family and the Trentons. The police investigation is a frustrating, slow-motion attempt at rescue, constantly delayed by the mundane reality of police procedure and the vastness of the rural setting. The local sheriff, George Bannerman, finally drives out to the Camber farm. He is the last hope, the traditional hero figure. But Cujo, with his terrifying speed and ferocity, ambushes the sheriff, brutally killing him. The police car, with its radio and gun, is now another silent, useless object in the siege. Donna, realizing that no one is coming, makes a desperate, heroic attempt to escape the car and reach the sheriff's gun. She is attacked by Cujo, but manages to fight him off, using a baseball bat to defend herself. This is the film's first major twist of action, transforming Donna from a passive victim into a fierce survivor. The final confrontation is a brutal, primal fight to the death. Donna, driven by maternal instinct, knows she must kill the dog to save her son. Cujo is finally, seemingly, dead. The silence is deafening. Donna tends to her son, but the relief is short-lived. In a classic horror trope, Cujo is not dead. He lunges one last time, forcing Donna to grab the sheriff's revolver and fire the final, fatal shot into the dog's head. The monster is finally vanquished. Vic Trenton and the police finally arrive, finding the carnage and the two survivors. Cujo is a relentless, suffocating horror film. It strips away the supernatural elements that often define King's work and focuses on the terror of the real world. The fear of disease, the fragility of technology, and the isolation of modern life. The dog is merely the delivery system for the true horror, the breakdown of control. The film is a masterclass in limited location suspense, proving that you don't need a massive budget or elaborate special effects to create pure, visceral terror. All you need is a broken down car, a remote location, and a very, very sick dog. The film is famous for its terrifying depiction of Cujo, but here's the rare piece of trivia. To portray the single, massive Saint Bernard, the filmmakers used 5 different Saint Bernards, a mechanical head, and even a black Labrador Great Dane mix wearing a Saint Bernard costume for certain running shots. The biggest challenge for the dog trainers was not getting the dogs to look menacing, but getting them to keep the signature Rabid foam on their mouths. The foam was made of a mixture of egg whites and sugar, and the dogs kept licking off the tasty concoction, forcing constant reapplication between takes. If you endured this deep dive into the relentless terror of Cujo, please do us a huge favor. Like this video, share it with a friend who loves a good survival horror, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Sometimes, the monster is just a dog, and that's the scariest thing of all. Thanks for watching.